options, lots of axes. Jakeyy, the Lone Ranger here, coming in with that Tesca.
We've seen way more Suzaku Castle today than I would have ever expected.
It is interesting because I think a lot of people will vilify this map, but for some reason, EU today is liking the map as the cannon toss from Pilot. Gonna take down Jakeyy, and the neutral light will take down Saphir.
Jakeyy hoping those iframes would have lasted a little bit longer, but they didn't, and he ended up having to go over to the left side. Does grab that set of boots out of the air. The neutral light does get punished by the down air from Pilot. Jakeyy figuring out whether he wants to keep pushing onto Pilot. Actually sends him over towards his teammate.
Saphir was just a little too far away, went for that dash jump down air. Would have been an interesting follow-up to say the least, but it's going to be a side sig to lead to the KO. Taya eats a recovery, still alive.
Saphir using that side sig just like we've seen Marker use that side sig in previous games as well. The Ulgrams have been using it so well over towards the edge to get those stocks so early. Oh, the second blast of the neutral light ended up picking up the second red team member there too. Unfortunately, blue team wasn't able to capitalize off it too much. The onstage ground pound from Pilot.
Immediate disengage from Pilot, launched Saphir away, and then said, I don't really want any more of that. Weapon toss in.
Dude, Jakeyy's been playing so aerially. He's been looking for a lot of like recovery, not just for the KOs off the top, but also for the juggles. He's been floating so much in the air, making sure Saphir has a lot of room to play with on the ground.
I mean, that's, again, one of the reasons why people don't like Suzaku Castle is how tight it can feel. Like, 4 bodies on that map can feel very close-knit and claustrophobic. Right now, though, Saphir needs all the breathing room he can get as he is getting into the red on that final stock. Ooh, interrupted the side sig, heard the startup of that one. End sig's gonna whiff there for Jakeyy.
That's going to be a dodge burn for Taya. Okay, touchdown very quickly. Pilot actually kind of gave that wall of down signature potential explosions for Taya to get behind Pilot and then touch, reset everything, and get back to a safe spot. Wow, that follow-up was so fast. The timing on that from Taya instantly.
Yeah, the second Jakeyy whiffed that gravity cancel downlight, that stock was gone. Unfortunate drop there. You saw Pilot try to get the follow-up off the downlight from the lance of Taya, but they couldn't convert that into a team combo. Backing away, didn't get the neutral light. They are not able to get this team combo set up.
Taya just waiting patiently, close enough to be behind Pilot. Still also giving room, even while Jakeyy was putting some pressure on a Pilot. Doesn't want too many cooks in the kitchen. That's how somebody gets burned. Beautiful follow-up. They're like one-hit follow-ups, one after the other. Have been so good so far. Oh, neutral light just barely missing. That dodge came through right in time for Jakeyy. Neutral light.
Weapon toss. Good dodge coming out from Jakeyy, but it might not be enough. Sweat beating, another. He went for a ground pound. That was the greediest. He wanted the most tight play he could get, which would have been a ground pound on the head of Taya, and then get the wall touch and get that 1v1. Did not find the hit. Quite unfortunate.
I think they both went crazy greedy at that moment. The ground pound was insanely greedy.
Gravity cancel end sig.
The gravity cancel end sig towards the stage. If you would have been a little bit more to the right, that ground pound would have been like the biggest brain play of all. Whereas you could have just like chilled for a moment and gone for a down air potentially.
Well, either way, game 1 going the way of Pilot and Taya. And now we're getting a little bit of a wider map as we go to Demon Island.
Yeah, it's going to give a lot more runway for the Lance gamers out here. Still going to have pretty small sidewalls, but we do have the option to go under the stage here, as opposed to the last stage that has that kind of post in the middle. What's the name for that? Like, what's the formal name?
I've always called it ice cream cone. I know that's not the actual formal name, but I've always called it the ice cream cone.
We need to figure out a name for that.
Team, get on it. Oh,
okay.
Taya with a ground pound, getting on the
and another.
Ooh, gravity cancel end sig from Jake. Actually going to turn that one around.
Yeah, great response back. Trading 1 for 1. Now the red team is still going to be a little bit in the lead here, just based on the damage that Pilot and now the stock loss from Pilot.
Jakeyy holding down that stock advantage. Pretty healthy here too.
Pilot just kind of floating in the air, then going over to the right side. Jakeyy just didn't pay him any mind and moved over to the left. Pilot's throwing out a neutral light, but I feel like we haven't seen Pilot do much of anything in the past 20, 25, maybe even 30 seconds. There's an onstage ground pound. The weapon toss down does get the neutral air bounce and a second and gets the KO. Making me eat my words here as we now get about a minute 15 into this game and everybody's stocks are even.
Jakeyy, though, coming in fresh. Was unarmed, picked up a pair of gauntlets. Left side, Saphir gonna punish that with side sig.
A little bit of team damage there, but also did some good damage onto the red team. That first neutral air, hitting who he needed to. His second target, though, was his teammate. Almost making that side air. Hitting Jakeyy. Okay, the sweat beat's coming out. Still had enough to get back up.
Ground pound again from Pilot. Dude,
Zol.
Stingray was the one who talked about that, is actually the cannon ground pound on stage. It's just actually just a really good tool.
And he's actually not using the strength stance. Pilot is going into the defense stance. According to the overlay, you can see on the bottom of your screen, you see that little blue shield all the way on the bottom next to that PR. That's going to be your stance.
The team KO, though, as Pilot goes over there and side airs Taya away. Stock count all the way even. Might not be for long as Pilot making that long run back onto the map.
There's the recovery. Taya was sweating. KO off the top.
Big up side air, Taya!
Taya like overextended one time and ended up falling and basically getting nothing for it, if I remember correctly. And ever since then, Taya's like offstage extensions have been great.
Dude, Taya heard people say, yeah, Lance is bad off stage, and was like, no, let me show you.
Oh, I almost expected like the side sig or the neutral signature. Maybe even the down signature would have been good as well. But there's the GC side signature going the other direction. Enough mustard on that one to get the KO. Look how even those numbers are between the blue teams. Splitting KOs right down the middle. 467 damage, 463 damage. Only 4 difference between those two. So that is one of the marks. There are many marks, but that's one of the marks of a very good team, able to split those responsibilities right down the middle. It's like a good relationship.
Yeah, it's a shared household. You both do some of the chores, and you make sure you each do your part. But here's that efficiency.
That was sick.
Dude, when they got the pickup and then turned to the left, I was like, they're gonna get this side air, and it was so clean. Taya and Pilot now currently up 2-0 over Jakeyy and Saphir, who came in on the top side for the top 8.
Who sent Pilot down? Who was that? That was Sosa and J44L.
Wow. And they got taken out.
Yep. They got taken out by Marker and Razox, who then right after that got taken out by Pilot and Taya. So we're thinking some thoughts here about the stage banning. Suzaku is gone. Demon Island was gone as well.
It really looked like Red Team wanted a platform. We got rid of the no plat maps. We don't want any non-plats, but we want at least one platform. And it's going to be the Fortress of Lions for game number 3. We'll see if that platform comes in handy.
I can definitely see that with how vertically Jakeyy was playing previously, wanting to get those KOs off the top. Like that soft platform is only going to help extend his sphere of influence up into the air, where he can touch down to that soft platform before recommitting and re-attempting to get the KO off the top.
A little bit of a scramble as everybody diving on top of each other. Jakeyy coming down, hits a nice little neutral air. Taya taking the brunt of the damage as the end sig from Saphir connects.
Pilot's going to grab that weapon. Unfortunately, Taya, one of the more damaged, I believe, on the blue team. Still without a weapon. There's a spawn on the right side, running over to grab it. Pilot doing everything he can to kind of cover the approach. Inlight, and Taya's gone. Back to not having a weapon. There is a spawn on the left side of the stage. There's another one. So likely, okay, Jakey's actually going to strip the field there.
Yep, not going to give Taya an opportunity. They know they need to win this one, and then the next 2 if they want to stay in this. Down 6 coming out. The classic Zol.
Saphir's going to camp over on that wall while Jakey's spawning back in. Able to grab that weapon while still under the influence of iframes. Very safe way, or really the safest way to grab that weapon.
Yeah, nice recovery there from Jakeyy. Into the combo.
Nice.
Into the side sig. That's going to be a KO. Taya now down to their final stock.
And that's where doing that with signatures is really smart, because they can do that in 4 moves. Signatures are going to give you higher damage per move. So the amount of time you're spent in that 2v1 combo is so much less. Fewer punish windows, all of that just compounding on one another for a very safe, like 4-piece guaranteed KO if you actually hit all the moves.
Yeah, I mean, like that combo happened so fast. Pilot didn't even have the opportunity to think about getting in there. Nice fake out there from Pilot, but unfortunately swung a little early there. Should have let Jakeyy go for the entire Sig. Pilot now down to their final stock alongside Taya.
Yeah, Jakeyy Saphir definitely saying, all right, it's time for the reverse 3. We went down 0-2. It's time to stop messing around. It's getting a little hot out here during the Summer Doubles Championship. Jakeyy instantly, going over the wall and actually moving back up pretty quickly. Now taking 2 hits, almost the neutral signature. Pilot charged that one as long as he could try to get that like weird delay.
Tried to throw off that timing there. Jakeyy did have a position, but a nice falling side air from Saphir forces Pilot to a 1v2.
Pilot almost got the side air. He was just a little bit too high to grab the catch in time. If he would have been like maybe 2 character hurt boxes lower, he would have been able to grab that. Maybe the KO here, going for the 1v1 for just a moment as Jakeyy spawning back in. The second he touches the ground, grabs the gauntlets, and the blue team is already done. Saphir doing 722.
So much work being put in from Saphir. I can't fault Pilot on that final cannon string. They did end up getting punished by a dodge and then a turnaround side air. But in that position, like I can't fault him for just being like, I'm gonna swing. I'm not gonna wait and try to react. I'm just gonna swing. And if you read wrong, then I'm gonna be in a good position.
There's the D-Sig. The side light, unfortunately for the blue team, gets punished. And now we are going into game 4. It was looking like it was going to be Taya and Pilot's set with a 3-0 against Jakeyy and Saphir to then move up and face Acno and Delta, but no. That may be the ultimate result, but it at least is going to be delayed a moment longer as Jakeyy Saphir took that last game. Going to be moving into this next one. We're going back to Small Fortress of Lions. I expect to probably just be on this map the rest of the time.
Probably. Unless, well, okay. There's a world where Jakeyy Saphir win this one and Taya and Pilot go, okay, you know what? Not our map. We're going to ban it.
Okay.
But they did leave this map alongside the 2 that they did win, so it was pretty much saying, hey, let's go back to the same map.
And I see very few things that are unique to this map that are playing to the detriment of really either team. It just seems like it depends who's playing better. I don't think it has too much to do with the map, whether you can go under, whether it has big walls, small walls, whether it's the soft platform, whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 3, whether it's none. Because you just need the side sig. Hit the side sig over on that corner. You're an Ulgrim player. Use those signatures because they are so effective.
Axe Lance doesn't matter. Side sig's still a really good tool for the Ulgrims.
Oh!
Charged it up, but Saphir comes in with his own Axe side sig.
Taya's going to end up falling. We're going to. It was a extended 1-for-1 trade here. So we're getting to about 45 seconds into this game. Saphir was like pacing back and forth on the left side just for a moment. There's the side light neutral air. Little bit of overlap as Jakeyy comes in with the neutral sig.
I like that Taya ended up letting that entire thing go out, get all the damage put out from Jakeyy. Gravity cancel end sig. Jakeyy goes below it. Pilot did get the wall touch though.
I almost expected Jakeyy to kind of stick around over on that corner, stick on the bottom side of it, given how like under the stage Pilot got sent. Taya's trying to run away, please.
Given an opportunity for a team combo, Pilot does end up eating a neutral sig on the respawn.
Oh, Jakeyy was looking for the turnaround there.
Neutral light, still not enough to take out Jakeyy. Oh, yes it will. And then Saphir left to the 1v2, but really no weapons in the hand of the blue team.
Nice. Oh, I almost expected like a D-Sig or a neutral sig coming off of that like neutral light pickup interruption.
Taya trying to get that weapon spawn on the left side, eats a downlight from their teammate. Oh, big dare. Not quite enough though. That's going to be Taya. First one onto the final stock. Saphir forces Pilot down to their final stock.
Again, Jakeyy charging up one of those signatures over on the edge, trying to find that pickup. Didn't find it earlier. There's the recovery from Jakeyy, still sticking to that wall. There's the D-Light into the side of the recovery. Not making a connection. Sweatbeat still gets back to the main platform. There's the side light. Oh, the delayed GC side light, but Jakeyy setting up the edge guard, started on the boots, ending it potentially with the unarmed kit.
Pilot did get back to the wall safely. That cannon side air, getting that wall touch, charge up the down sig. Jakeyy, only one still sitting on that second stock.
Yeah, Pilot's really fishing for those weapon toss into the pickup neutral air bounce.
Neutral light, easy punish. Pilot recognizing not enough damage onto Saphir. Just went for the downlight down air. Recovery comes out from Taya. 1v2.
And it was smart for Pilot, like, not to pick up his teammate and be like, okay, we'll get it and we'll trade 1-for-1 because the blue team's behind at that moment. So really what you wanted to do was go punish, like, Jakeyy or whoever ended up starting that rather than the person who was caught in the middle of it. Great risk-reward understanding in that moment. Risk assessment as well.
Neutral light, okay. Do Pilot and Taya have the team combo to KO Jakeyy and win this one 3-1?
We're back to kind of a similar spot that you and I had previously where, I mean, I think it was Jakeyy as well, okay? Does get the KO there. There was a lot of damage on Taya. But, like, again, in the 1v2, I don't want really either of those weapons, the boots or the gauntlets. But now, in the 1v1, we have a different situation, especially given how much health that Jakeyy has right now.
He's got to be careful, though. Pilot definitely looking for an opportunity to go all the way off stage. Sidelight, there's the dodge. Pilot tries to dash back, but a little delayed there.
A clutch here from Pilot goes crazy.
Won't happen, though. The bounce up, and Jakeyy still finds the downlight to lead to a recovery. We got a game 5.
Yeah, Jakeyy did a great job that game, almost 700 damage. On the other side, Pilot was the one doing almost 600 damage. Gonna need Taya to step it up just a little bit there, coming in at 336. Not terrible numbers, but definitely got to step it up here a little bit. There was that down air from Pilot, and then getting back onto the main stage, kind of dash jumping back and forth between those two, trying not to get too close to one of them for too long. Here was the beginning of it, ending with that recovery, and that's the KO off the top. Jakeyy got it.
One thing I noticed in that last one, okay, we're going back to Fortress Alliance, is that Taya was not going for the big off-stage plays anymore.
Yes.
Like, that's one of the things that looked so well for this blue team, and suddenly Taya's just like, nope, I'm too afraid to do that.
And it's not like Saphir, the other like Olgram and Lance player, was going for them, but Saphir definitely would like sit on the wall for a moment and then throw out like a dare. And then find a stock off of that dare. Not some huge offstage initiation with 4 different moves and some turnarounds and chase dodges and all that kind of complicated stuff, but just like a single dare, kind of putting your presence out there, making that known. Jakeyy completely disengaging from that, knowing like he got what he could onto Taya, and now I'm going to go back, try and force a man advantage. Now, forcing that 2v1 onto Taya for just a moment, and then on the Pilot, and then back onto Taya.
Dude, Taya went for the sidelight side air, and it would have connected, but ended up going past Jakeyy, so Jakeyy ended up getting that free side air to stop it. Right now, Jakeyy the least damaged on the screen. Everybody else 1 sig away from getting taken out. That's going to be Taya to take 1. Combo.
Ooh, not enough. Thought that one might KO. Saphir did hit the side air onto Taya, splitting up the blue team. Now both of them have regrouped over on that wall. Now Taya's back on the main stage. So was Pilot, but Saphir's going to hit the side air to get that KO. And a second side air, the other side of the stage, to get the KO onto Taya now. That was a full team wipe. They did a pretty good job adding up a bunch of damage onto Jakeyy, though, in the meantime.
Yeah, they're making sure this one still stays close. Now that they're on these fresh stocks, there's a real opportunity of just finding that big hit. Down sig to throw towards Saphir, and Saphir saw that Jakeyy was getting caught, so he just goes for all the conversions he can.
Red team was keeping it going for a while. Jakeyy was doing a great job of surviving. It took over a minute and a half before they got his first stock. But in the meantime, like, not a lot of damage was added up on Saphir, so it's not like Jakeyy got sent away and then there was power play against Saphir the entire time, because they definitely have the lead in terms of damage.
Big recovery attempted from Taya.
Saphir going in off stage. He was waiting, seeing if he could get away with something cheeky there.
Jakeyy going high, and Taya not really covering the high option instead. It's that recovery, gonna take Saphir down to the final stock.
Gauntlet recovery. He's hunting for those recoveries to get the KO off the top. One was just raw. The second one was a sidelight into that recovery. Grabbed him, plucked him out of the air, sent him down to the blast zone below.
The raw down sig and a side air on the left side. Jakeyy with the delayed double KO.
Oh, Jakeyy potentially was getting juggled there, but all of a sudden they turned that one around.
Taya and Pilot starting to struggle here. Another down stick thrown out. Taya was looking for the punish, but a side air, and Taya is done for. It's all left to Pilot. The 3 stocks left on the red side's team. This would be huge if Pilot can get the clutch.
Yeah, this 1v2 for Pilot is going to be a lot different than the previous one. Oh! Doesn't have the timing on that GC side signature after being fed Pilot. Nice pickup.
And that'll do it. Game number 5 goes the way of Jakeyy and Saphir. They clutch it out. They hold it out. They own Small Fortress Alliance.
After all of the upsets we've seen today, we kind of have a return to normalcy here. Our grand finals is going to be Acno and Delta versus Jakeyy and Saphir, but massive congratulations to Pilotgoneum.